We back again. We back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again. We back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again. We back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends.
Welcome back. This is VCT Game Changers APAC. Tash Buddy here alongside Kentrell Quack, the Quackman. Today we're your duo casters, and it's gonna be a really exciting one. It already feels like the grand finals because today I finally get to cast for, I would say, one of our biggest favorites to win this tournament, which is X10 Sapphire.
I know, right? And it's not just X10 Sapphire, it's X10 Sapphire versus W Streak Female. Both Thai teams, so I think they know each other pretty well, but unfortunately only one of them will proceed forward in the upper bracket. Aside from that though, Tash, what do we have in the lower bracket?
It's gonna be really exciting in the lower bracket, but let's wait for the brackets to come up for that first, because I really have a lot to talk about. But I really want to talk about yesterday. So if you guys weren't watching yesterday, we had some of the most interesting games. It's X10 X-Team BO, and they were going against one of the most interesting teams ever. Give me a second, let me just pull that up from yesterday. And I don't think you were watching yesterday, will you, Quack?
Not that much, but I did see some clips. I saw you popping off.
I had to. The games were just so intense if you think about it. And I think that was one of the best things that you could think about. It was X10 BO, and it was against BMG, also Black Magic, an all-Thai team as well. And, you know, despite the Black Magic that came through, it was also a very exciting thing because it was a 2-1 and one of the closest games I have ever seen. And then after that, we also had another game going on yesterday, and I have to say that the second one between Winstreak FE as well as
Big Scythe.
Yeah, Big Scythe as also one of my most anticipated games if you think about it. Mostly because those two teams are, I would say, household names, at least for Stage 1 and Stage 2. We've seen their performances, and I have to say, seeing them perform was just on a whole nother level. It was like seeing VCT, APAC, LCQ all over again.
It's these teams who are, they've been around the scene for the longest time, but they don't always get to qualify for the Opens just because there are some stronger teams like SMG and Alter Ego Celeste, of course. They are always blocking them off, but finally here they get the spotlight onto them. But still, they have some challenges ahead. And of course, this is our format. We're in the VCT Game Changers APAC Last Chance right now. Only two teams, the top two teams from this one will actually qualify for Elites. And then from Elites, the top one, the one winner from that one will move forward into VCT Game Changers Champions or Worlds or whatever you want to call it, the global event. And that's the thing that everyone's fighting for.
Everyone is fighting for that. I mean, everyone talks about the prize pool, but you all know that the real prize is not the friends you make along the way. It's actually getting
it's not the friends you make along the way.
No, that's the consolation prize, bro. But anyway,
who cares about friendship?
I didn't say that, yeah. Like, moving on, these are the registered teams. You can see there was, wow, there were so many teams that actually signed up, and I was actually so surprised the amount of teams, or rather the support coming in. It really shows that for the female community, for the girl or lady community, there's just so many who really want to make it up there and showcase their talents on the big stage.
I love it so much, but that said, out of all these teams, we only had 8 that actually qualified for the playoffs, and these are the teams. They are still very much alive and kicking right now, but today we have to send 2 of them home.
Already?
That's the thing that I'm very scared of, Tash.
I'm crying. thinking. It's only been one day that I saw them, at least 4 of them play. But for now, these are teams, and I know that there are some teams that we haven't casted for, or at least haven't seen yet here.
Some are new.
Yeah, some are new here, like Black Magic. I don't believe they've made it here yet, but I think they just came together from a bunch of other teams come together. ARF Starlight has been hyped up like crazy, especially all over Twitter. You all know how strong they can be. Basics as well. And of course, for me personally, Madness is going to be where my heart is, especially since we all know that there are 2 Malaysian girls in there. But this is the eyes on the prize here. The prize pool. First and second place, $1,200 each. But getting into Elite is the main goal.
That is the main goal. I mean, money can't compare to having your name, your team's name, your player's name inside of VCT Game Changers APAC Elite, where you get to fight against the top teams and hopefully make it out against them and find some revenge, because I think that's the dish that's best served cold.
Oh, yeah.
That said, this is the bracket. X10S versus Winstreak Female first. And then the next one, which is also kind of huge to me, I think. ARF versus Big Sight.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know why? Because Margot, who is the IGL or the headliner of ARF, she used to come from Big Sight, Tash.
Oh my god, the rivalry is so real. We love a rivalry storyline, don't we? Well, maybe not rivalry, but like, I really want to interview these girls and say, what do you feel when you see your previous teammates on the other side instead of with you? What are the feelings that come through? You get mad, you get annoyed, you feel very satisfied when you get a headshot on them. Who knows, right?
You want blood.
Of course I do. We like that bloody, you know, from friends to enemies sort of storyline. Everyone talks about how much they love that, you know, friends to lovers trope or enemies to lovers trope. But why not friends to enemies? The opposite,
Yeah,
but better.
why not?
Yeah, right? But speaking of that,
It could be fun.
it's absolutely fun. It's really fun as well. I mean, especially when you think about those, you know, those roster changes that pretty much happens every time a tournament ends. It's always really exciting to see which team will finally get their chemistry back, which team will be retaining and try to fix. And we all know out of all those teams, X10 Sapphire is just one of those teams that will retain their OG roster for a long time. And this is one of the reasons why I'm really, really vouching for them, because not only is it the power of friendship, that's number one, and number two, in terms of how they play, it's kind of like, you know, when you have a friend who is kind of like on the same vibes in terms of brainwave, it's like you and me, Quack.
You click.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. We're friends now, but after this, you know, we're gonna 1v1. We're gonna become enemies. That's the storyline that you were hoping for.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just gonna like contradict you right now. You know why? Because you said when we were talking about the format, you said friendship doesn't matter. Like, that's not the real prize. The real prize is making it to... It's a consolation.
Yeah.
That's why with X10S, X10 Sapphire, they might have been together for the longest time, but they kind of messed up their chances to qualify into Elite from overtime, from open overtime. They made it really far, but they choked at the end.
It's always coming close, but not quite enough. It's almost a similar storyline to SMG when they finally clinched it in the end. But for W Streak Female, they had a rebrand from L Streak to W Streak, and I think it suits them so well. We saw them play yesterday. They have one of the most interesting lineups I've ever seen. They also have a sub for certain maps, especially seeing Rosie on Fracture. She's absolutely chef's kiss. A cupcake on Viper too. Oh my god. I never thought that would come a day where I'm like, this player plays on this map, and the reason why she's on this map is because, hello, she does so well on it.
It's awesome. But that said, I mean, if you have any like 2 players that you want to highlight, who would they be?
From which team?
From each team, like one from each team.
Okay, for me,
because I got my answer.
You have your answer already. Wow. Okay, so for me personally, I'm a big fan of Ginny. Of
course.
Yeah, I know, we go way back.
Everyone.
We go way back. Like, I met her in Malaysia a long time ago, been following her.
Oh my god,
yeah,
I'm
since
jealous.
2016. And now 6 years later, she's still in the scene. It's insane. And of course, Baby TZ. We've seen Baby TZ. She's been playing so insane. But that is my pick, at least for X10 Sapphire. But I'm going to pause that for a second because these are the map picks. What are your thoughts?
Oh boy, I wasn't quite expecting this. I mean, seeing the results from yesterday, it was both 2-0s for each of these teams, and they had quite the performance on Fracture. I thought they would have gone in the Fracture again, but here we are. These are the bans, and these are the picks. Icebox, Haven, followed by Bind. And I think for the Thai teams, this is just a very clear choice, because this is what they're good at. This is what they're strong at. On Icebox, rather controlled. They will be able to come in with those retake scenarios. And as for Haven, it's a little bit of just a hint of chaos. And I think X10 is the one that's going to perform better on Haven, just because they show that they have a bit more game sense, a bit more leadership in the form of Ginny, and not to mention just a lot more dueling potential when you have players like Baby TZ or Polly, and especially Muffin.
Oh yeah, Muffin is absolutely insane. Now, there is a reason why Ascent is banned by X10S. We did see them come so close over in the last stage, and it just comes to those last crucial moments that they're not able to really hold an area or a site, especially on attack. And I think that's the reason they said, okay, since we cannot figure out this Rubik's Cube that is Ascent, might as well let's take it out of the whole situation. Sometimes a ban or a pick doesn't necessarily mean that we're playing to or on our weaknesses or our enemies' weaknesses. It's more for like what we're more comfortable with. And I'm really liking these more, I would say, personalized bans and picks over those like, oh, they're bad on this map, so that's 50-50. Who knows, we might do better than them. So I'm really liking this as well. I think for X10S, one thing that they really learned is that you don't have to be too aggressive or too calculative. Sometimes it's always good to go back to basics. We always talked about this. Like for X10S, their biggest weakness has always been the overthinking.
That is so true. I mean, we definitely see some signs of that in some rounds. But that said, though, I mean, yesterday they had a pretty good performance against ARF. You know, ARF, new team, big headliner. Margot is in it. She came from Alter Ego Celeste last year. However, X10 Sapphire, they won both maps on Haven and Fracture 13-10. 13-10, Tash. That is so... It's not even close. 13 to... Oh, excuse me. I said 13-10. My brain completely farted. I meant 13-3. My brain did the math and I went different. 13-3 is like so... It's a huge... it's huge. Huge gap.
Yeah.
And taking a look at some of the numbers, every single player had a positive KD in both maps.
I mean, are you surprised? We've seen how Margot performed before. We know Shabby. We've seen Crescents. They are players that would consistently do well, but at the same time, we question like, what's going on here? Is it X10S actually stepping up in a very insane way?
I hope so.
Or is it because it's the first series that they're going to and they had jitters? Because these are really players that we always yell and scream for, especially when we see them in those aim duels, in those 1v1s, in those clutch situations.
It's such a thing to think about, and it's tough to quantify sometimes because all we have to go on are the VODs and the numbers, but when it comes down to it, sometimes the player's mentality towards these games really factor in. And I think for ARF, part of the reason, due to the fact that they are a new roster versus X10 Sapphire, who are a team that has been together since like last year, you know, there definitely is a bit of chemistry going on between both sides, and I think XNF, they showed that they can come out on top just because of that fact.
I'm really
Moving
curious.
on from that, though, W Streak Esports, also not that new, right?
Not that new. I wouldn't say that they're super new, but they definitely have that experience in terms of how they play. Especially, I mean, when you think about it, most of their team have played together, and they're very, and I would say that because I think the reason why I'm kind of rooting for them, even though I'm a big fan of X10S, is because the fact is, not only are they, you know, is that only because they're playing against X10 Sapphire in terms of like, you know, how they've been played together, they've scrimmed together, they've probably even trained together when you think about it.
Very much likely.
Yeah, very much likely. So we can expect very similar game style and gameplay, but mostly because their performance yesterday really stole my heart. We've seen some big impact plays, and this team, not only are they really great at like playing that holding hand game, having each other's backs, but also they're great at having one person bait and willing to die for their teammates. The power of friendship is definitely there.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, you know. Power of friendship, power of teamwork makes the dream work. We always say this stuff. But whatever it is, we're moving on, and the first map is going to be none other than Icebox. That is W Streak Female's map pick. What do you think about Icebox?
Icebox is a map that I will say this over and over again. It's a great map for aggressive plays. There's so many different spaces to take, especially as you're taking up site. And in a lot of Game Changers games, it really shows which team knows how to get onto site or take a site compared to a team that is more that doesn't really know. A team that likes to go fast only takes it from one area, but then you have on the other hand a team that likes to take up space, like say going from under tube to B or going from A and then taking over mid. That's those puzzle pieces are very important because you need to make sure that you're not gonna have any of those empty holes for people to come through. When I say aggression, it's because there are these openings, you're not really sure where exactly which corners some players are gonna come through, and I think X10S loves playing that game. They're a team that is, I will say this over and over again about them, individually they are strong. This is why this map is great for them, because they don't have to rely on playing with each other. And I am worried about W Streak for that, because yesterday a lot of their games were more of like a combination of ultimates, a combination of utils that bait and swing. So if you don't have that situation, are you able to fend for yourself?
Wow, great question. Brilliant points. Is this what we're doing now, Tash? Are we going into predictions? Are you predicting that X10 Sapphire will win this series, or at least this match?
I'm not predicting. I'm just talking off of what I've seen before. I haven't really seen W Streak on this map just yet. I really hope that they've really done their homework.
I really hope so as well, because if I had to predict, I'm gonna go with X10 Sapphire just because they have shown in the past that they are fully capable of going in with a triple Sentinel composition, and that says to me that they are banking on their years of experience. They are banking on the fact that they don't need teamwork or utility to play it. They have that individual potential. That said, if W Streak Female can come in with insane teamwork with such a meta composition as what we're seeing right now, they might actually stand a chance at breaking some of these defenses. Triple Sentinel means that your defenses, your side control is going to be impeccable. And we're seeing that right now. Sage, Chamber, plus Killjoy. I mean, that's incredibly defensive.
Personally, I'm a big fan of the KO pick. Just because you get such a big radius on clearing off the backside, even close, especially as you're getting onto A or even yellow on B. So the reason why that's so great is because it disables those early, traps, or even those players playing that. They have to reposition themselves, because with that suppression, they can't really do much in order of trying to get away or even trying to leave. It gives you so much space. But on the other hand, if you look at how Alyssa has played her Killjoy, it's a whole nother level seeing that, because she is just able to play that aggressive sort of Killjoy who just waits in the corners and just catches people off guard, hit them straight between the eyes.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the utility that Alyssa has on the map right now. Alarm bot towards the bottom of boiler, a turret inside of kitchen. That's the entirety of middle controlled. Unless you make use of your shock dart or some utility from KO, or you just shoot down those things, you're not going to have much space walking in towards the middle. However, right now, the Streak Female trying to make a hit towards the A site.
Mimi is just like, she's been cracked since yesterday. She's been cracked since yesterday, and she's still feeling it today. How does it feel to wake up in the morning and just say, I feel like I want to be cracked today?
I can't answer that. I can tell you how it feels to be quacked, but whatever it is, right now they've made the rotation onto the B side, and if they can take down Muffin, this side will be theirs.
Muffin has to give her that space. She saw two, immediately repositions. I'm liking that she's waiting for her teammates to immediately come in. Gonna be one hit by Alyssa, Muffin, one hit. Mimi with two in the bag is looking so good for her. Alyssa moves away. It's still gonna be a 3v3, but the wall immediately going to be brought down here. It's going to be a little bit harder for that plant. They do have I would call it an ice cream cake, I suppose. You have it there. Mimi, she can get the right click. He is suppressed, but Polly gets a small little one, but Nuki in the backside, we all know she loves to play the hero. That's two for her. Can she make it three? But Ginny is
remaining,
there.
brother.
She says no 3 for you. And she is just gonna stick this. Noxie from the backside, she catches the heel. Is she gonna be able to get it right? Because she knows she's coming through, but it's gonna be Ginny with the band-aid save. Ginny stepping up when she has to.
When the wound starts to bleed out, Ginny comes in with a band-aid, kisses you on the boo-boo, and just seals it right up, and that completely stops the bleeding. I mean, look at how they completely came in with this retake. It was a good job holding the defenses coming in from yellow, taking off some of the players as they tried to push in. But what really took the cake was Ginny in this little 1v2 scenario. That one headshot over onto Nuki made things so much easier to deal with Noxie, and that's really how XNS took this pistol round. Now, moving forward though, the question is, how does W Strike Female buy back into the next round?
Did you see how calm Ginny was? She just like, let's get it to half. Not even panicking. She didn't even do that shaky shake thing that we always see a lot of players do. You always see that, right? When they're panicking. That is insane, I would say, discipline.
Yeah, truly is. Still though, what's even more disciplined is their positions right now on the map. X10S not budging at all, standing their ground. Even if Nuki walks all the way up to Tube on the minimap right now, she's going to get spotted out by this turret, and it's going to be easy for Alyssa just to rotate back around. They have nothing but classics on the side of W Streak Female, and the best that they can hope for right now is just maybe a frag or two, maybe try to create some space and get the spike down.
The best scenario you can ever ask for. That recon just now did not get any value, so Muffin is safe, and look at that, she's already gotten one. And can she get two? Yes, she does. She's gonna get two, finally teleporting away. But Ginny is so very low, 20 HP left. She's gotten picked from the side there, but Muffin with 3. Mimi does retaliate though, finding Baby TZ in the end. And Alyssa, we know how strong or how sharp her shots can be. And Polly from the top side. I'm really liking this top-bottom sort of play they're having. Mimi is so very low. Mimi does get the upgrade. She's playing in that corner, gets those teleports out. Is Polly moving forward here? Nuki gonna be the next victim. Whoa. There's still one more to worry about. She still has the poison orb if she wants to play, but Mimi, she's gonna move forward. She's not scared, but Polly will be the one to get her first.
Yeah, when you run out of time, all fear just leaves the body. You know you have to move forward, but unfortunately, even then, you're facing a squad of 4 Spectres. And if you pay attention to the minimap, to how some of these X10S players are positioned right now, Muffin in the elevated spot just makes it so tough for WSF to find her. Not to mention now the fact that some of them were low, all of them retreated towards the back. They knew they had the round, and I love seeing this from X10S just because you know that they are in it to win it. They are playing such a safe and careful game.
X10 has always loved that sort of playstyle, calculated, slow, just kind of plays with you a little bit, where you have no clue where they're gonna be coming from. And on defense, it might be even worse because they're not gonna push out to you. It's very different than what we saw in stage 1. On that aggressive side. Regardless, that's already 2 utils thrown out there just to buy some time. Alyssa not being able to see, and the wall, I believe, is about to be erected soon as Baby TZ is still waiting on the top side. She was the only one that went down earlier. All she has in hand is the Sheriff. Knowing Baby TZ, she can actually get those headshots if you want to. There is one tag as Nuki does get Baby TZ in the end. Nuki moving forward. Nuki, very, very aggressive player. You know what she loves. Mimi once again popping up. It's gonna be Muffin. That will be her second victim. There's still 2 suppressions in the backside there. Nuki can just play off that information. Flashes out. Everyone is flashed, but Polly, the run and got a little bit too strong for the rifle. As Nazi moving in the back. Copy does find Polly. Copy King and 2. I'm gonna Copy King. He's not able to get the last one because Rosie is gonna clinch that. As they take this round, I have to say it's a great round for them, because they only lost 1 player.
Absolutely right. I was a little bit scared when Nuki fell to one of the Spectres, but once you start to see how the rest of WSF played towards the end of that round, incredibly defensive, all they needed was that opening duel. Because they knew that XNS were playing safe. They knew that XNS were playing this rather defaulty style, and you could see that Mimi was also doing such a great job at holding off the rotations, just lurking towards the bottom side of middle. She was able to take out and thin down the numbers, and when it came down to that, they just needed to win the remaining duels. Coming into the next round now, though, XNS starting to move forward, blocking off middle with a wall. at that.
Where did that recon come from? What a shot coming in there. I believe that was from the side of Ginny. We all know that she is the lineup Larry. Lineup Ginny, let's change her name to that. As we wait, it's all just silence, and they are just seriously taking their time.
You can see on the minimap that they have changed some of their positions. Originally, we would see Alyssa trying to control middle with her utility. This time around, she's stacking up on the B site. And then we also have Baby TZ plus Polly to slow down any potential pushes coming in from the A site. Snakebite plus Slow Orb equals insane stalling potential. And then Ginny able to rotate between both sides. This is a strong defensive position. WSF are going to have a tough time cracking this one.
What's really, really annoying about having Polly's, at least orb there, is that if you were to push through, one spray is all she needs just to bring you down because of that decay. 30 seconds left, and they're not even close to the site. And Muffin, she has the tour de force. She's unfortunately gonna get spotted out here. Has to reposition. Also, her tour de force has been disabled. She has absolutely nothing. They're running up fast here, but she's not scared. Alyssa finds Nuki in the end. 10 seconds to go. They're not able to push forward. Rosie from the side. That's fine. When Nuki gets one each. 5 seconds to go. They have to force this, but I don't think they have the time. Unfortunately, time is not on their side. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be X10S taking the round. It looks so good.
The patience from the side of X10S. I mean, they're not even sweating right now, Tash. They've got ice in their veins. This is Icebox after all, and they know that they have control over the entire map. No info, but that's okay. Once they sense the hit coming towards B, everyone rotates over, everyone comes in to push them off the site, prevent them from getting the spike planted, and now WSF are in a tough spot because they really need this round or they will not have the economy for the next.
This is very similar to what I saw yesterday during Breeze, where we saw that they actually committed so many utils. They wanted that explosive play, but no commitment came through. And time was ticking. I'm wondering, why are they not able to fix this yet?
I think what they're really trying to do is to try to find some of these opening picks, but with the way that X10S are positioned, it's a little bit tougher for them to do that, which is why information is absolutely key right now, and WSF are just not quite able to find it.
They do have the null command. They can play explosive if they choose to, but look at how the utilities are from from X10S. It's just so great how much control they have, and immediately BBTZ is going to be reacting, and so will Muffin.
Down, B.
2 picks just like that, and they already know where the spike is.
Instantly drops towards Garage. Of course, there's going to be a second player. It's another easy pick for Muffin.
Remaining.
Wherever the remaining players are, it's not a problem for XNS right now. Again, like I've said before, full control over the entire map. Rosie, the last one left, Hash. There's not much that she can do. She's up against the entire world right now.
Look at how no one is pushing up to her. Maybe there's just gonna be Muffin, but I don't think she wants to overextend as well. They are very disciplined. Yes, they can take her rifle away, but why risk it when we can bring all of our rifles the next round? And it's gonna be Rosie, the last person alive here. And that's what I was really worried about for W Streak. That ability not being able to play together because they were just so separated.
You're right. You can imagine that call coming in from Ginny, coming in from the entire squad once they shifted positions. Again, no way that WSF finds any kind of a pick just because every single one of these X10S players are just hiding, watching angles, and as soon as someone gets tagged, ABTZ reacts. As soon as they find more players, once they got the spike, Ginny's calling out like, we don't have to push this, guys. We could just stay behind, which is why right now, off the unfortunate eco round, WSF calling the timeout, trying to fix whatever problem they can. It's not going to be easy though, Tash, because again, they just don't quite have full info on where some of these XNS players are. Without that info, they can't get that opening pick that they're looking for.
They do have Cupcake for that hard intel. They have Nuki if they do want to throw those dives a little bit deeper. But if they want to play the slow to slow game, maybe they can go with close knives, then push up forward together since they love playing that sort of situation. Like it or not, that map control from X10S is a force to be reckoned with.
It's here to stay.
It's scary. Like, you have no clue what's happening over at mid.
It's just not a chance at all. I mean, you might want to pull out your magnifying glass, you know, look for some clues. Put on a detective's hat like Sherlock Holmes, but
Might need
it's elementary, my dear Watson. I mean, look at this.
Telescope at this point. It's that tiny.
Yeah, it's the same setup again. Alyssa with her utility towards the middle. Ginny this time trying to assist Muffin towards garage. And then meanwhile, it's this Sage plus Viper combo on A site. It's perfect. Oh no!
Yuki gets an opening pick that she wants, and immediately look at the rotation coming in on toward A. That is how they want to play this. Get the pick, take up the space, but look at that. Immediately now command comes through as well. Muffin gonna be punishing Mimi for that pick, but for now Baby TZ play this close side angle. Even though they have nothing, they have their aim. Alyssa already with 2. Expression is gonna catch one, but no one will be reacting to it.
Scanning ahead.
Slows do come out. Recon Bolt gets one scan here. Baby TZ is found as Alyssa does eventually bring Yuki down. It's gonna be very irritating. No fragment, no flash. Gonna be a little bit harder to get onto the site as Cupcake as well. She wants to inch forward. They do hear the owl drone here. Cupcake might be seen, but the teammates are in the back. They're ready to bait. Moving forward here, finds Genie. Unfortunately, didn't get the shot. Right there's Alyssa again with the 3K. Baby TZ reacts as well. Clean, I have to say, from this team. Those crossfires are absolutely lethal.
It's just a lethal weapon. This one wall from Baby TZ set up the perfect crossfire, the perfect hold, not to mention Alyssa coming in with a lockdown at such breakneck speeds just to support the team, just to prevent WSF from continuing to push forward. It's such a strong defensive side that I don't know if WSF are going to be able to find any more rounds. They have to do it right now because this is their full buy round.
Not gonna look good as Polly immediately gonna take up the space. You have the Sage wall and you have the Viper's pick. If you are playing close on the top side, it's gonna be easy pickings for them. As Muffin, fortunately, does not get tagged. She can choose to keep holding this area if she wants to, but the walls are going down. And you see the rotation start coming through as well. See the knife there? They're smart. They know that knife was coming through. The anticipation was already there. Now that the knife has been used, they can actually go forward and take up those close angles once again as Muffin, fortunately, whiffs that shot once more. But it is enough to just kind of deter them. But Noxy will be the first victim. For now, it's gonna be Yuki getting that. Alyssa, good for 2. Will she be good for 3? Not quite. We know Alyssa's jiggle picks have been absolutely insane. As Yuki says, yep, I agree with you, Tash. It is very scary. I'm gonna be repositioning to another spot. It's only just me. My friends are gone. We have 4 spectators on me. The pressure is so high. She's good for 1, not quite. Alyssa, we know how she plays, and it's looking real bad.
Tash, we can see with the X-ray vision that there were like 2 or 3 players on the other side of that corner. And as soon as Nuki peeked in, I mean, she had no other choice. She got met with the firing squad that is X10S. Alyssa, 3K in the previous round, 3K again in this round, and she is not slowing down anytime soon, girl. I mean, look at her. 1 point away from her ultimate, and she's just doing so much for her team. 11, 2, and 3.
She just used it 2 rounds ago. She's been farming.
What even?
Farming kills, rather. Not farming orbs, yeah?
Yeah. Who needs orbs when you get kills?
Exactly. We've seen Alyssa before. Love how she plays with the Sentinel role. Wouldn't have it any other way, but Rosie gonna be putting up that Viper wall here. And I think that wall is a dead giveaway as Polly immediately finds Yuki's head. Woo! X10S. They're sharp today.
What a drive-by. That's so fast. And it's all crosshair placement. Right now, Ginny.
Down.
Look at that!
We're back in
That
for
is
another.
nasty! That's an
Yeah, we don't
ADS
double
kill.
dip like that.
Hoping that we have that. But Polly is gonna be found eventually. He has to move. Snakebite gonna come through as well. Noxy is pretty much primed and ready for that shotgun as well, just to give some space. What's gonna be happening? But Alyssa is going to my Cupcake. And suddenly, there's only 2 left! WSF, what are you gonna do when there's only two of you?
Remaining.
Polly swings out, catches Noxie off guard. I don't think they know where exactly
Teleport's
Mimi
ready.
is. They might have an idea. But Mimi
30 seconds left.
gets one,
She
eventually
gonna
gets a ding. Unfortunately, doesn't bring her down. How is that possible? So unlucky.
What you
It's gonna
gonna
be
do?
Genie that finds her. Multi-tiered,
What you gonna do?
multi-tiered firing squad. They were all over the place.
What you gonna do when X10S comes for you? I know, right? I mean, just look at this. A single hit, a single sound towards the A site. Everyone rotates over, and it's just so much insurmountable firepower, insurmountable reinforcements for the site. WSF haven't quite explored middle, or maybe they can't because of the utility from Alyssa. They haven't quite been able to break the B site just because Muffin's there with the operator. What option are you left with?
It's so scary playing this long area. I don't think she knows. Oh, never mind. She does get found out eventually. Thought that shot would have
She's
hit
not
her.
afraid.
Even hit her actually, not even once. But it's gonna be A site that they want to hit here. They did break the wall. Rosie going upwards. Slows as well. Snake bite too. A very, very deadly combination of utilities, and Fragment will get them some space. Gonna get one, at least from Yuki. We all know that she's really great with those opening picks. But look at Polly. She sees lost another one, maybe two, not quite. Cupby kick retaliates.
Okay.
Only two down.
Well,
Here.
lockdown, Hunter's Fury.
There's Thunder's Fury, as said, is immediately gonna hit Noxie just like that! She's good for one! Doesn't get more value than
Standing
that.
ahead.
Still good enough. They are gonna be getting one more. Lockdown does get destroyed eventually. Yuki, she's gonna be taking up more space. She loves playing these very, very sneaky angles. We know how she plays. She knows Alyssa is right, but she probably hurts those storm
got two
grenades there.
flashes too.
Unfortunately, timing not on her side. She had to move away. Ginny moving forward here. She knows there's one on the back. I don't know if she
No
knows
way.
there was one right behind the box. There can be wall back. Immediately Yuki. Alyssa does have her back though. Mimi from the side. Gonna save her. Double kill! Just like that. Disallowing the defeat. There's only
remaining.
Muffin left. Still gets Mimi in the end. But this
Oh, she's
plant,
gonna halfway.
I think she's gonna be able to. She can't do anything. It's not planted for her.
No!
Unfortunate situation. Is she gonna be able to get a kill? Looks like she is at least. So that's one consolation prize.
I don't know if I even want that consolation prize. Look at the score, Tash. That's what, 7 rounds in a row or 6 rounds in a row. They're 8-1 right now, and X10S, they're still coming in with this absolute fortress of a defensive side. WSF managed to break it through a little bit just because they knew about that crossfire setup. Nuki would have no choice but to back up, and that's where, Baby TC would have to back up, and that's where Nuki got the first kill. But that said, following that, the retakes are still too darn good.
It's just unfortunate because the plant wasn't for her. She was just so way back. In the round that it felt like the plant got it. It's so heartbreaking. There's gonna be one suppress at least. That's one thing that they know. Just waiting for that swing out. But look at the discipline coming in from Polly. She does not budge or move, but she knows that if she moves, they'll really pop her head. All command is there. Immediately Yuki's gonna be reacting, but Polly from the bottom, but Rosie is there to say something about that. Noxie from the side. She still wants more. Gonna get at least a heal here from Noxie. This time they're gonna be at least planting it properly. But Noxie on the backside does find Cupby Cake. Mimi
One enemy remaining.
takes control of mid. This is exactly what they wanted. They know Alyssa is right there, and Noxie gets two for herself. Plant comes through
I
as
love
well.
that. I mean, see how WSF finds these opening picks now. With the wall gone, with the setup starting to get adapted to, they know where some of these X10S players are positioned. It's easy for them to create a little bit of space pushing into the site. Now, where things really get hectic is with the trades that just kept swarming in. And X10S, because of that that failed reaction, they weren't quite able to support the site on time. And WSF walks away one more round in their pockets. 8-2 right now. X10S spending the timeout just because they can.
I think it's great that they got this timeout. Just because, number one, their momentum has been cut. And number two, they need to figure out what exactly were went wrong in that particular round that WSF has managed to figure out. End of the day, I'm really liking how Mimi was taking out that mid area, catching everyone in mid rotation. We didn't see that coming from Mimi earlier. She would either get picked off, try to make noise at B, or she'll be playing with her teammates. I'm liking that instead of playing everyone together coming onto A, you kind of like figure out if you want to take another route or maybe send one person or two people onto another area just to take up more space, because with those crossfires it's a lot more easier for them to break into X10's I would say defenses.
And and we saw an example of that in the previous round. We had one player coming towards the middle just to cut them off on the rotations, and that's another factor into how WSF are starting to change things up. We love to see this. We love to see them push down the middle. If they can overrun this entire spot, it's going to be tougher for Alyssa to deal with it. Whoa.
This is a new place.
That's a good spot.
4 players up the tube? No, 3. I'm nervous, Dash.
I'm nervous too because that area. Oh, look at the damage coming through.
Nice.
Wall up, not allowing any control or at least any access to the kitchen side. Slow them down, but Ginny will be the one to punish. Noxy gets one even. Ginny gets one trade at least. Ginny good for 2. Aldrone coming out. Changes her mind actually. Play this corner here. Let's get one. It's a nasty corner when you think about it. Immediately gonna reposition. Saves herself. There is a revive coming in from Baby TZ. Alyssa's back in the game. You need Alyssa. Really helps with those information gathering.
You want
some
to play?
slower at
Let's
least.
play.
But you want to play? Let's play. Does come out.
What?
Will that tour de force come out though? Where is it gonna be? Is it gonna pick? Is also another question. Mimi does spot out that
30
turret
seconds left.
eventually. She's not gonna. Her teammate's gonna get rid of that for her. Gonna move forward. Changes out. Spots
no.
Alyssa over in Snowman. Worried about the push from the right side here is what I'm worried about. Plant. Hesitation. Alyssa. You can queue up PK and Mimi. Get one each. 13 seconds. 12. And Mimi lots of spending. Just getting in the end. In the nick of time. Mimi finally stepping up.
Last round in the half.
Such a sentinel, Mimi. Oh my goodness, she was lighting up the kill feed yesterday and she's doing it again. This time top fragging, 11 kills on the board. Just because of her tour de force, the sudden decision to pull that out, she was able to react fast enough to some of these peaks. And being in such a deep position, I don't think Alyssa quite expected this. She knew that she was low, that's why she pushed up front. But you know, when you land your flicks like that, that's what happens. If WSF can take this round as well, that's going to be solid for second half of the map.
It's gonna get a lot of value from that recon. Regardless, they do hear the sound of an operator. It's gonna be Muffin on that.
Take flight.
Only gonna cut noise. Need some information. Rosie, she knows exactly where that shot came from. Rosie, I don't know if you want to be there. Oh my god! She outguns Muffin! This time, Muffin wasn't able to live to tell the tale. Snooki playing from the side here. She has no clue. They have Polly on the top area. Stay as quiet as a mouse here. I think they do want to challenge Polly's Viper's Pit. Slowly pushing forward. Does throw out that Viper, that snake bite immediately. Polly has to reposition. Plays very sneaky corner, moves forward, maybe he does find Mimi. Oh my god, Polly good for 1, but Noxy does find her in the end. The revival does come through from Noxy. Alyssa gonna take mid here. And immediately Ginny playing the really back corner, and there is another Viper spin here.
Spike planted.
Matt comes through as Baby TZ finds Nuki in the end. Rosie playing the back corner. Playing a very safe angle because all she has to do is survive. Let them push into your world. But is it really? Can X10 take that space is the question. Baby TZ, do they know that she's flanking? Cupcake is pretty low. Just waiting for the outside. Trying to get lucky here. Turret is inside the area. Not reacting to it. Ginny's still the upper side here. Sprays through, doesn't find out. Baby TZ still finds one. Alyssa gets one. Rosie does say no to Ginny. Rosie good for 2. 3K to pocket. Baby TZ, you left 1. Baby TZ still gets it in the end. 4K!
No time.
Does she have time? I don't think so. What a clutch!
Absolutely insane by Rosie. 8-4 at the end of the first half, and WSF have basically secured a good enough spot that they can come back into the game on their defensive side. I mean, so much to unpack here, but you can start to see that X10S, they're starting to get a little bit antsy. They're starting to go a little bit maybe too aggressive with some of these peaks. I mean, just to start things off, Muffin with the operator, she went for the shot, and that's when Rosie took her down. It softened up some of these defenses, and not to mention, lockdown coming in from Alyssa, no problem. Nuki had a lineup for that. The fragment absolutely counted that spot, and it's just such a good take. They absolutely cracked this code.
Feel cracked. Mimi. Oh my god.
I know, right?
She's just stepping up. You're seeing her take up so much space. And the idea of how she takes up space is what I really want to highlight here, because they've spotted out Alyssa. So the idea is that possibly she's not close enough to the utils. I can take this space. But that last round in particular, I'm seeing a whole different WSF that's not too aggressive, playing that I don't have to peak sort of game, and it's really working out well for them. And I think if they're able to get that plant down, they're able to be not the team that's going to be peaking, it's looking real good. Because I think in that last round, it felt like X10S went a little bit on overheat.
Yeah, just a little bit. They started to play peekaboo a little bit too much, if I were to say. But, you know, for a WSF, 3 rounds in a row on the attacking side against X10S, if I were to foresee the future, I think it looks good. I think there's a sign that this is a sign that they could actually come back into the game. But that said, we still have to see how X10S actually plays on attack. They've got 3 Sentinels, maybe 2 if you count Chamber as a duelist, but it's going to be tough for them to actually create a lot of space because they don't have that much mobility.
Yeah, I think we talked about this over on VCT, APAC, LCQ as well. Team tried this and it didn't look great for them on attack. So having a chamber on your team means that you're relying on those opening picks. Yeah. So if, say, that WSF does the same thing, plays very quietly, just kind of hold on the areas with their utils. We talked about it, how we saw WSF yesterday playing great util combinations. And if they're able to do that again, I don't think it's gonna be any easier for them to even take space, because on defense, I understood why it was so hard for WSF to take up space, because they have so many utils to deal with. It's almost impossible.
So much. I mean, talk about Alyssa with her utility towards middle. We had, I mean, the Sage walls coming in from from Baby TZ, not to mention Polly with the Viper. It's just
Muffin's trademark.
There's way too much layers on top of layers. Yeah, the trademark as well. But of course, WSF, they start to figure things out towards the end, and A site was their site of choice. Coming into the next half, who knows how this is gonna go? I'm curious to see how WSF actually defends.
I preach over and over again about how aggressive this map should be played, or ideally should be played rather. But again, both teams not running a pure duelist still baffles me. But at the same time,
I think it could work.
But at the same time, the way they play with those agent lineups makes sense.
Right?
Yeah, it's just how the way they play or take space and take time. It makes sense, because if, say, that WSF decides to go with an actual duelist, those utils will just drop their duelist like a fly. It's almost hard to do so.
The compositions that we're seeing from WSF, I mean, this is the trend now. It's a lot reminiscent of what we see from those EMEA teams, especially G2. No duelist is still okay as long as you're able to break into the site. But what they're doing right now isn't quite working out so well because their positions have been compromised.
30 seconds left.
Not getting that recon, at least the shock dart not hitting anyone at all. Polly is walled out. It's going to be a little bit hard to get onto the side, or at least on that side to take up that space. Post plant is what they want to go for, as Mimi, she does have the headhunter. We know how terrifying her headhunter can be. He comes forward there. There is the poison orb as well, not allowing the threat to move forward. Muffin does get one eventually. It's going to be Rosie that's going to go down. Ginny just waiting for that tap, but look at Nuki already moving forward. But look at the headshot from Ginny.
Oh my god.
Nasty, nasty situation.
filthy, Tash. It's absolutely filthy. We start things off with WSF trying to play it safe, but being too far back towards the site just kind of gives your opponents a little bit more space to push up front, and that's where they can
space, yes.
Exactly strafe shooting. And then when the first player falls, Rosie has to back out, and at that point it's easy for XNS just to take the site. And this is one thing that I really want to highlight: Baby TZ and her deliberate wall placements. It's not a very common choice to wall off screens horizontally like that. What they're really doing is to just cut off that one route, which means WSF only had one single pathway in order to retake the site, and at that point it's easy pickings for X10S. This time around though, look at this discipline again. They're not going for crazy aggressive peaks. It's just a default hold.
X10 is known for that default play. It messes with the opponent's mind.
Right.
They have no clue where they're gonna come from, what they're gonna do, where they're gonna hit. Look at the spike. It's still down. They still haven't figured out where exactly they're going to go just yet.
If you're at WSF right now, you're not quite sure where X10S are. You don't hear their footsteps. You peek and you see a little sliver of a head, and now you're thinking it's the A site. But by this point, look at where these players are positioned. So far back, Raptors, screens. How are you going to defend the site like this? Oh, you have no choice to play for retakes.
Listen, I was a bit concerned for her over there. Still jumps off. You do have rifles in this round. Takes some damage.
It's not good.
But Rosie is quite low. Kick. Takes some damage here. Can she hit those right clicks? Is the question. Ginny will get knocked. Alyssa and Polly get one each. Cuppy kick. Let's find Polly in the end. Ginny finds Cuppy kick and Sully's only Nuki. Nuki gets the ding, but not the kill.
An interesting idea from WSF. I mean, they did not have the economy. Might as well try to find whatever they could, whether it's a kill or two. They can't plant the spike or really defuse it, so they can't really get that money bonus for the next round. So I can understand that instinct to play really defensively. But if you do that and you completely give up the site to your opponents, you are playing a 5v5 retake with nothing but pistols against Spectres. It's such a tall order. And at that point, you kind of just defaulted the round. You gave it away to X10S. 10-4 is the score right now. And if they can't pick this one up, they're going to be in for a world of hurt, Tash.
World of hurt means going home. And I don't think WSF wants that, at least just yet. I really want to see that confidence that came through from them yesterday, especially on map 2. But it always feels that way for some teams, doesn't it? Where they do so well. I mean, they don't do so well on map 1, and suddenly on map 2, they just completely shine and it just catches you off guard. And it might be the same thing for WSF. If you look at trends for yesterday, regardless, I'm wondering what exactly have they figured out here. They can actually at least close up the score a little bit, boost up their morale.
That's it, though. Still, it is undeniable that X10S are in the driver's seat right now. They have the momentum. This is forcing WSF's hand. They have no choice but to use the timeout right now just to figure out whatever they can, make these rounds count. But once it comes down to it, if XNS starts to feel the pressure, they can call a timeout as well. So they're sitting pretty, if you're asking me. I mean, they might have Spectres and Marshals right now, but they know how to make this work.
One thing I like about X10S is the fact that how they play is very reminiscent to Bleed back in Stage 1, Stage 2. They played very slow early, then suddenly at 50, 40 seconds, you see these explosive plays, and it's very, very hard to keep up with those speed because you might be in whole other different parts of the map because you have no clue where they've been.
Again, that's what it comes down to. Both sides not really giving up information to each other. It's just the utility that's really making a little bit of sense. As soon as that poison cloud goes off, it's easier for XNS to hit any site that they want just because you're left with lesser resources. And right now, if they can overrun the sole player that is holding down B, oh my gosh, WSF, they've over-rotated.
30 seconds left.
Mimi, she's the only person there, and she might be punished if she's gonna beat that muffin straight to the head. She had no chance to react, and look at that, a free upgrade. We love that. Look at Marshall for Polly, she's gonna take it. As we all know that Polly too can't get value. Any weapon can get value in the right hands. Suddenly, it's gonna be silence again as Cupcake was able to find out Alyssa in the end from the inside. They're gonna get some pressure there. Gonna be a lot, but look at that, Polly! Immediately switches out to the Sheriff. Moving forward, she is not afraid. Noxie only half HP left right now. Genie, and unfortunately not gonna do that, but Polly does get one more Muffin!
One enemy
Finds
remaining.
again, Cupcake! Finds Muffin. Doesn't know where Genie is, but look at this angle she's playing. Ugh, not a great one.
I can't believe how strong X10S are right now on this map. This is such a dominating side. This is WSF's map pick, by the way. How is it that X10S are doing so well? 11-4 right now. This round was WSF's bonus. And yet, X10S are just walking away with these wins. I mean, such a careful approach. All it took was one headhunter shot on towards Mimi, and she's gone. They had the sight off of that. WSF, they need to rein this back. They need to calm themselves down.
It's a hard situation.
Right,
And you have a
Tash,
team like X10S who are just playing defensive. You saw how Jinyu was placing herself. It was aggressive, but at the same time defensive. I don't know how to explain it, but she doesn't have to peek. Wait for people to come to me.
It's almost hard to breathe right now if you're playing on the side of WSF. Still, they're trying whatever they can.
Shutting them down.
Not really moving all that much, but they just don't have the guns this round. Trying and waiting to hear whatever they can, pick out whatever they can. But X10S are running in full force, all 5 members.
Get that spray from Baby TZ, gets Yuki, but here the wall does come up. They are gonna get that plant. That's one great thing about X10. Despite everything, they still managed to get that plant. Their post plants have been impeccable. Very slowly, we're seeing a very, very slow reaction here from WSF. So they're not quite sure how to play this, as Rosie does get caught out at the end. That Recon does find one in the backside here. Alyssa does get one more. It's good for a while. Alyssa go for 3 though. Again, very, very clean. Only Jimmy lost.
Match point.
How many triple kills have we seen from Melissa at this point, Tash? I can't even count them. I got 10 fingers. I'm not sure anymore. She's got 22 kills. 22 kills! Mimi, who's the top wrecker on the other side, I think that's almost double what she's got. I just can't believe how sharp Alyssa is right now.
It's actually insane because yesterday what we saw from WSF is those insane thrifty rounds, and they do so well on them, and I was banking on them to do that again today.
That's a spray conversion and a half. I'm not sure if we saw that towards the end, but it's just so strong. And here we are, Tash. Match points.
Already?
Can WSF actually turn this thing around? We've got Mimi on the operator. If anyone can do it, she has to be the one to push them off this A site.
I believe in those copium moments that we saw from Orangutan, 11-1. And I hope for that again.
Are you huffing that copium?
Not quite. So long as WSF doesn't have that confidence, it's gonna be really hard for me to believe in it. Because you saw that hesitation come through from them earlier as the retakes come through. This time round, the only information they have is the sound of the owl drone. This time, footsteps gonna come through as well. You can see this confidence coming in through from X10S. They're feeling really good. Clearing out the backside there. Unfortunately, doesn't get that, but it doesn't really matter for them because there is the lockdown coming through as well. It's gonna allow them so much space. And Rosie, what she can do is just throw those snake bites. And I think it's a little bit too early for that.
Wow.
She doesn't have any more utils.
Well, here we go, Tash. This means it's gonna be a full 5-on-5 retake. But what they don't know is that Mimi has the operator. Not to mention that Hunter's Fury coming in from Cupcake.
Still got the flat though.
That's so good.
There he is. Con. Destroyed, but Ginny is gonna not getting anyone, but Mimi does find Baby TZ in the end. Alyssa does find one to grab Mimi. Good for 3. Mimi is tapping up. Noxy from the backside. Cupcake as well. I think it might be too little too late, but it doesn't really matter because finally WSF finds their rhythm.
We take a step back, and then we take one step forward, and this dance will continue. 12-5, WSF not backing down. An expensive round, sure, but one that counts when it matters the most. Just because Cupcake lands the perfect Hunter's Fury shot, just because Mimi with the operator lands the perfect operator shot.
It was all Mimi.
And I know,
She got 3 picks.
she's coming back in.
But that's the problem. When you only have one player that's coming back in compared to a few more, it's gonna be really hard. But look at Alyssa though. 23. Look at Mimi. I think she's starting to get very confident here. She's starting to push up. Unfortunately, it gets spotted up with the turret. So you're not seeing anyone at least push up because they don't know who exactly is the one that's peeking.
This could be a jack-in-the-box surprise for X10S. They're kind of anticipating some kind of a push. Maybe they heard something, but it's not going to be simple. Unfortunately, though, with the Owl Drone, Mimi has no choice but to back off, and now we might see an operator duel between these two chambers.
I love seeing the battle of chambers. Mimi doesn't go out, but her legs are gone.
Oh my
That's
god.
painful.
I felt that one.
Yeah, me too. That fragment is just gonna take up some space there, not allowing them to push forward. But X10S, they know how to just wait for it. Alyssa is gonna throw out her turret there. Just get some value. Wall does come up. It is gonna be immediately tried to take it down, but there is a little corner there. Mimi does find Polly again. Rosie finds Baby TZ. Yuki trying to get some information from outside. Flashes out. Not gonna be converted at least into a kill. The wall is there. Alyssa, Rosie, 1 each. Mimi gets 1 more. Ginny gets 1 kill. Gets the Hunter's Fury. Rosie pushes out. Gonna be the defuse. Gonna bring them back to 12-6. The dream is still alive, and I am huffing and puffing.
I love that, man. You huff and you puff and you blow X10S all the way back off the site. We talk about walls, but the brick wall that is this Noxy barrier orb just at the right time. Maybe gotten it halfway, and that's what really counts. Ginny, you can throw the Hunter's Fury all you want, but when you have 3 players breathing down your neck, 3 players from WSF, they come into play. This is how WSF are showing that they do have that confidence, Tash. They know that the spike plant is going to come in, but that kind of costs a bit of positioning from X10S. They have to push up front in order to get that spike down. It makes it easier for them to pick off some of these players as they try to get that thing planted. 12-6, and this is a bit of comeback potential. But like I said earlier on, X10S, they're still comfortable. They have the momentum. Once they start to feel the pressure, timeout called. Momentum completely shifted. And this is where they could actually close this out.
There was one bit, a tiny, minor mistake there by Baby TZ. Was a small little gap in the wall between that she put up. Costed them. I have to say, X10S, according to trends as well, have a bit of trouble closing out games. We've seen X10S get to 12 so many times, but so many times we see the enemy team come back and get that overtime. X10S, they need to figure out how to just close it off.
You want to play? Let's play.
Oh my gosh.
Trap destroyed.
Still, Viper's Pit is one heck of an obstacle for X10S to deal with, and now Tour de Force, they've got their Vandals. If the B site gets cracked open, this is going to be a problem for WSF. Mimi's going to have to pull off some acrobatics here.
Oh, she got spotted out. Okay. So unfortunate, they know exactly where she is too. She has to give up that space, but Polly going up real fast, breaking that wall. Would prefer to see that wall used for a post plant rather.
Oh, look at this. X10S trying to bait out some rotations. They're spending some ammunition, some positioning or utility just to possibly bait them over. But WSF aren't really moving all that much. I love that Rosie's still hiding inside of her Viper's Pit. Middle, a little bit compromised, but if Cupcake can get a bit of intel here, this would be perfect.
All the information she needs, Shock
30
Dart does
seconds
come
left.
out. But look at how fast they're taking up this space. They don't even
Oh my
realize
God,
it's
she's
coming
going
through, but Baby TZ is gonna be stopped by that. But Ginny's gonna find her first. Cupcake does find Baby
Spike
TZ.
down,
In
mid.
return, the spike does get dropped. They're gonna get it back. The Null Command is making it real hard. Cupcake gonna try and get that value. She does. It's gonna be onto Ginny. Alyssa does find Yuki in the end. It's gonna be 2. Cupcake is online. That's the revive coming through to Yuki. And it's looking real good for WSF. Finally, the momentum is on their side.
Brought it back. Lost it, but you take the bull by the horns. And now, XNS, you know, we still might be in for a 5-round differential, but it's lovely to see WSF come back into the game like this. I just want to highlight the one snake bite from Rosie. She might have been in the Viper's Pit, but as soon as she heard footsteps coming in from middle, she came in to support her teammate with the best time to snake bite. It slowed that down. It kept Cupcake alive.
Because of that, Cupcake was able to get those picks too. This time, we're seeing a very aggressive WSF, just spraying in through mid, not allowing that space anymore. Mimi, she's primed and ready. For now, still silence, but look how quietly they're getting onto A area. But there is one in the backside here. It's gonna be Muffin. Just checking, making sure no one's flanking.
Oh no. It's okay. I love that Mimi's being proactive, switching around positions, keeping X10S on their toes. But the thing is, these positions are so far back that X10S gain a lot of space. I think what WSF are trying to do is to bank on the fact that they've got nothing but sheriffs, but even then, these sheriffs are deadly!
That's what we want to see. Thrifties can be big value, and I said before, any weapon is great on the right hands. Regardless, X10S, the team that wins those aim duels. Wall, gonna go down here. Cupcake gonna try and get some information. Does get 2 scans, perfect, but Noxy is gonna find it easy, but Genie is the one who will retaliate to Cupcake's swing. Noxy does eventually get found out here as the sprays come through from Rosie. She is aggressive. That damage does come through from the nano swarms, but Noxy does find Polly in the end.
2v2.
2v2. They need to do this. They do hear those taps come through. Muffin spraying through, gets one in the head. Not get 2. They finally pulled it up for the Thrifty. What a great way to win the first game of the first series. It's gonna be X10 Sapphire.
You had to say it, Tash. You had to say it. The right guns in the right hands can change destiny. And this is what we've just seen. Again, this was W Street Females map pick. They had it. They came back towards the end of the first half, but here and when it comes down to it, match point, all of a sudden, it's just that amount of space given up to X10S allowed them to come in and slap WSF unconscious. What a way to close out this map.
As I said before, sometimes when you hit round 12 and only starting to perform, it's a little bit too little too late because you have no room for error. And as for W Streak, momentum heavy team, we saw it yesterday, we saw today, and perhaps they just needed a little bit more time to really figure out how exactly to take it on. And by the time they figured it out, it was already round 12. Regardless though, they do still have 2 more chances. Do or die. Well, 2 or 1 depending on how they perform the next map. And this is a situation that they need to figure out. Regardless though, if you look at the score, Mimi, again, the player that we really hype up, that really is stepping up. But compared to Alyssa with 26 in the bag, her performance pales in comparison.
It's incredibly wondrous how Alyssa was able to get this. I mean, again, so many rounds that we saw. She had triple kills on top of triple kills on top of triple kills on top of triple. Stop me, Tash. I'm kidding.
The idea of how she plays that the Killjoy is a very interesting one. Swinging off the information she gets from her nano swarms, her alarm bots, her turret can give her all of that value. And on top of that, I mean, if you look at, I think it's very similar to what we see from Baby TZ as well from last stage. I mean, if we saw Baby TZ was the Killjoy previously, she was the sharpshooter, and I think because they play with each other, you can see that similar playstyle just shine through, and that is the signature Killjoy that you will see from X10S.
It's just such a strong team. I mean, again, coming back to it, we just saw that ratio 9-5 in terms of frag wins. If we look at the statistics, every single player has a positive KD, and this shows that X10S, they just have that really strong defensive side. I mean, look at the replays right now. All of these setups help them gain so much momentum, so much confidence that even when WSF wants to try to come back into the game, they had no issue just finding that one perfect round to close this out.
I think what's really great to say is X10S's explosive plays is something that WSF was not able to deal with, as well as the great utility usage as well. WSF may be great with those aim duels and gunfights, but the fact is the confidence as well as the momentum was on X10S's hands. Even in situations where, even in those explosive situations, they take up so much space. It was really hard for WSF to kind of deal with those aggressive sort of plays. I think if say that WSF did have the same confidence, was able to play as aggressive, it may have been a whole different story. Because we only start to see the aggressive plays and the confidence come in when we start hitting that match point for X10S.
Yeah, that last round is a perfect example of what you just said, but even then, I kind of want to believe in WSF a little bit, just a little bit, you know? We see that they have the potential to really adapt to some of these defenses coming in from X10S, so as we move forward into the next map, which is going to be X10S's map pick, Haven, I don't know how this is going to go, but maybe WSF have some tricks up their sleeves. Let's find out what they've got for us right after this break. Don't go, guys. We will be back.
Woo! Is that okay?
Yeah!
Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down.
A little bit of a comeback from Win Streak Female, but unfortunately still wasn't enough against X10S and their incredible ability to frag out. We move forward into Haven. Now let's see if WSF can actually come back into the game. Hey, I'm Quack. This is Tash. We're going to bring you a lot more Valorant action.
It's going to be a really exciting one. As Quack said, too little too late for the comeback from W Streak, but there is one more chance for them as we move into Haven. As we all know, with X10's plays on how they do attack, love those defaults coming through. My question is, what exactly are they gonna do in order to stop this very slow yet explosive playstyle? A lot of discipline is needed, especially on defense for them, and I think the best thing that they can do is play together.
I have to agree with that. I mean, if you play separated, it's easier for your opponent just to pick you apart. But the other thing that they need to consider is X10S picked this map. They picked it for a reason. They did really well against ARF yesterday, 13-3. And not only that, they came in with a new meta composition.
Ooh.
We don't often see this, but Muffin picked the Neon yesterday.
Ooh, very, very similar what we see from Paper X, from what we see from Boom. They love those fast-paced agents, and I think they're really, really going back to, you know, embracing how they used to play back in Stage 1, the explosive fast plays, and it suits them so very well. And in big maps, that's the reason why you want to have a Neon, like Fracture, as well as Breeze and Haven. Neon is, I feel like it's going to be a staple from now on. You get so much space in so little time.
It's really a quick-paced agent, a quick-paced game, a quick-paced map that's going to possibly throw WSF off guard, and they're gonna have to adapt really quickly. They're gonna have to adapt on the fly, or at least have some kind of counter strat planned just from watching yesterday's VODs. Because if they don't, I mean, X10S, they have the potential just to run them completely over. If we take a look at the last time W Streak Esports played Haven, unfortunately, Tash, it was quite a while ago.
Yeah,
they played
it was back
against
in Stage 2.
NGX. I know, and not only that, their composition from before, it's not quite bad or anything, but it is a little bit dated.
It's a little bit dated, so I think they may have an idea on how to deal with it. But when it comes to, from what I've seen yesterday, at least from their game against, I think it was Big Side,
Big Side,
it felt
yes.
like they were really quick to adapt, especially on the second map. So I'm really hoping that maybe in case like their composition isn't going to change, I really want to see the adaptability come from them. I want to see more proactiveness, because the only person that was proactive on W Streak FE earlier was just Mimi. The rest was all still playing a very default, very, I would say it's a very one-dimensional gameplay compared to the rest. Right? We talked about taking up space, and it felt like X10S had full control of the map, even on attack.
Yeah, it's something that's going to be a little bit tough for them to deal with. I mean, comfort picks are great because you are able to just play in your comfort zone, play with what you know,
Play the
and you don't
muscle
really have
memory
to.
game. Give
Yeah,
your space,
exactly.
your brain space to think about other things.
Exactly. That's why. So when you have that extra brain space, right? Like maybe your brain's got like, I don't know, 1 terabyte of information.
What are you,
1
KO?
terabyte of disk space, and then you got like 750 gigabytes left to deal with adapting to your opponents. It could work. It could work. And that's what it comes down to. If we can see whoever the IGL of W Streak is, if they can come in with the best possible read, the best possible anti-strats, they might just be able to steal this map away from X10S. That said though, I want to see one player step up to the plate. Mimi was absolutely phenomenal, but we need to see more plays coming in from Dolph, who I think subs in as the 6th player for W Streak.
Dolph yesterday was insane. She is a very aggressive player. Loved seeing her on the Rays as well, going crazy. So if I am expecting Dolph to really take up that space, go aggressive. And I'm also hoping for Nuki. I mean, we saw Nuki yesterday playing with the Rays. Playing with the Neon. I believe it was Neon. Yeah, let me just double check that before I get my information wrong. Yes, it was. So, no, it wasn't. It was actually, she was actually playing something else.
Initiator.
Yeah, she was playing Initiator. So, sorry, Nuki on the Initiator is very aggressive. Yes, that's right. So now, if Nuki, she's able to really step up yesterday. She was able to take those big fights. And I want to see more from her, if possible. Because when you look at how they played yesterday, the reason why they're able to sub around is very similar to why we have Team Secret and the 6-player strat. So I'm really expecting a change in pace, because that change in pace happened yesterday on Fracture when Rosie subbed in. I'm expecting the same now. But looking at that, no neons.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, it's Nuki on the Reyna.
Okay. Well, I mean, they haven't locked it in yet, but here's the thing. Why sub out Mimi when she was doing so well? Maybe she's not that comfortable on Haven. That could be the reason, but she's got those hot hands. If Dolph comes in and they are subbing Mimi out, Dolph really has to be the one to come back in just to carry this team to victory.
I do like the breach pick, but the thing is, having baby TZ, or at least a chamber by Mimi, I would have liked it better than a Killjoy, just for this map personally. Because when you have that chamber on attack, you have that trademark to stop those flanks and rotations, and we know that X10 loves to do that. A Killjoy is as good, but the firepower coming in from a chamber is just too good to give up.
Man, well, whether it's the chamber or the Killjoy, we have what we have. The teams have their reasons for it. Again, like you mentioned before, Tash, it comes down to WSF and their potential to adapt. If they can do it, they just might be able to take this map away. But of course, they are starting on the attacking side. And look at this on the mini-map already.
Look at this aggression!
So confident. I can't believe it.
Dolph is already so very low. Gas got flashed out.
What are you doing? Oh my god.
Look at this aggressive pushes.
Just push C right now.
Just go and run. I'm surprised that they're not reacting this way. I mean, yesterday this happened to WSF. They heard the footsteps coming. They would have gone aggressive, but this time Mila gets the head, but Nuki does find one in return. But without Dolph, it's gonna be a bit of a problem. At least to get those picks. Noxy does find Muffin in the end. Polly finds Nuki. Train on train on aggressive angle. But look at this. They are just trying to bully them off the area. Your spawn, nah, it's my spawn, I say. The trademark does find them. Ginny from the backside here. Polly playing the smoke criminal. Polly gonna swing out here. Polly doesn't get anyone just yet, but Cupcake is there to find Polly at least. One-on-one. Cupcake does go down in the end. Ginny, what a nice rotation.
Tash, this was the exact same scenario that we saw in Icebox.
What is this?
It came down to it, and Ginny was the last one left, and she secured that final kill. Might have almost lost her head to Cupcake, but unfortunately, it is what it is. WSF, again, that adaptability. They saw 3 players coming at them. They held their ground. They tried to fend them off, but they couldn't quite do it. And once they felt that pressure, they knew the inside was open. They ran for it. They got the side planted, and that's what counts. They got quite a bit of money to work with now. Dolph going in for the expensive Sheriff. If she can find some picks, that would be great.
This is like seeing W Gaming from Paper X. This is how aggressive they play. But look at that. They really learned. But look at those sprays coming through. Nuki had no chance. They knew exactly where she was. And WSF, I am expecting them to actually just run backwards. This is what we saw from them yesterday, at least running away instead. But today, they say they want to fight, and the fight they're getting, but they're not actually winning. This goes down to 2 though. Baby TZ and Polly get one each.
Enemy remaining.
And Sully's only Cupcake left. Cupcake! He just said, surprise. Try and pop one head, but you know, when you have 2 crossfires at you, what can you do?
Surprise, surprise. It's just unfortunate is what it is. I mean, such aggression. Completely the opposite of what we saw from X10S on Icebox. Always pushing up A long like that with 3 players, no less.
They're like, round 1, we're gonna play very quiet. You're gonna think we're so defensive. And round 2, we're gonna be like, haha, you thought! Sorry, I'm too excited.
No, it's good. I feel it too, Tash, and I don't know what they're gonna pull off this round, but you can bet it's gonna be crazy. Instantly down the middle, looking for those CQB duels.
Actually, does get paranoia. Noxy does find Polly in the end. They're going fast, but it doesn't really matter though. They have better guns. They can counter to us. We'll spray at you. And you've already lost 2 players. Immediately gonna be rushing straight to A, but look who is holding A! And she has a Marshall! Has to reposition. It doesn't really matter. She has the high ground. She can see everything on the site.
Destroyed.
Slow and steady. Gadget does get destroyed though, but look at that. Not getting that value. 13 HP left. But eventually gonna go down to Noxie in the end. 20 HP left for Muffin, but can she land ahead? Ginny was already there to do it first.
The rotations.
Noxie, the only one that went down, but they do have some upgrades at least. So for now, you're gonna be happy with this, and you know that Ginny is a sharp shot. Ginny with the rifle, she can just spray at you. She can flick if she wants to. Dolph, she needs to take up space in the backside. She does eventually. She changes her mind because no one is actually watching Garage as well. They said, okay, let's just play this for post plant. You have someone playing in the backside behind the boxes. It's okay to anticipate, but that swarm grenade, they don't make a noise, hasn't been popped, and right now they're going to spray and pray. That's what you need. Yuki does find Muffin in the end. It's only down to Ginny. Ginny, where are you gonna look? Is there even someone on the site? You have no clue. Shoots the ground one time, doesn't get splashed. She has all the information she needs. All they have to do is just go together. Don't get isolated. 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be Dolph! Gets it! I was so worried for her with 20 HP.
Oh my god. That definitely did get me a little bit nervous. Ginny managed to get it halfway. However, she stood still in the same spot, and that means it's an easy pre-aimed shot for the WSF girls, and easy for Dolph, who, by the way, has been popping off. The 2 sheriff shots from the previous round, and this time around, a little bit more support coming in from Cupcake with the paranoias. It's giving WSF the positioning that they need, the timing that they need to rotate off onto different sites, and that's exactly what they did once they took down Baby TZ.
They're not changing their pace. I was expecting to go slow. Really flashed. Has all the information. Counter flash coming through. No one's pushing out just yet. Paranoia as well, just to clear out the area. Would have expected them to run the other way. That's what I would do. Have full control of sight as well. A, completely empty. They have no clue. But I think the idea is to go B. Not a big fan of that though.
Well, B would be really tough to break in. Like you said, Tash, not a big fan, just because of this.
Look at the crossfire.
Like, yeah, perfect crossfire. A-Link, C-Link. It's one of these tougher spots to break into, but if they can actually take down one player, it makes things easier. They're throwing a lot of flashes in, but it's not quite working out just yet. A lot of resistance coming in from X10S.
Because look at that, they're running the other way. Ski-daddle, let's get out of here. We got all the utils out of the way. Let's run straight to A, but Baby TZ is there! Immediately finds Dolph.
30 seconds left.
Their duelist out of the way. It's gonna be so hard. I should get onto the site now. The hesitation is coming through. Rosie does find Foley mid-rotation. And for now, they changed their mind. Rosie goes for 2. Rosie, she's on fire right now. She wants to get those picks. She wants to find the mid-rotation. See, she knows that this area is completely clear. She's calling to friends.
10
Come
seconds.
here.
10
But
seconds
they're running out of
left.
time. They have to rush this. But look at this pinch coming through from X10S, and Rosie knows exactly how they're playing this.
And all it comes down to is the timing of this rotation from X10S. They want to come in with a retake. They might not have heard Ginny yet, but
Ginny knows.
she's got to time her peak perfectly.
also
Her
has-
teammates need to draw the attention away from the site itself.
The knife as well. She can't use that. Yuki will be the one that's found out. Really find that chance to suppress as well. Let's get the diffuse halfway. Ginny good for 2. Ginny good for 3. No, Rosie and Cupcake and 1 each.
remaining.
But Alyssa will be one to find Cupcake in the end. Rosie half HP. All she has to do is just waste time. She doesn't have any utils. Peekaboo! I see you! Gonna have to switch. No bullets right now. But Alyssa's his. It's fine. I'm just gonna bring my gun to the next round. Both of them gonna be surviving another day, but not meeting, at least.
Well, sometimes that's what you gotta do. You gotta know when to fold. You gotta know when to cut your losses. Walk away with a Vandal in your hands that you can bring into the next round. That's it, though. What an incredible performance for Ginny. She picked up 2, exactly. It completely turned the attention away. I thought it was going to be the other way around for Ginny to come in the flank, but instead it's Ginny who drew the attention away for the other 2 players from X10S to take down the site. Unfortunately, it still wasn't enough though, just because C Long is such a tough position to deal with in a retake scenario.
I was gonna say that I was expecting them to at least know because Nuki did go down first. Carlos, here's Muffin. This time, all she has is a frenzy. Alyssa does still have a gun. We know that she can hit those heads. They can't see anything though. They can't go into garage. It's been nebulated out. As for now, X10, playing these aggressive angles, they have nothing to lose. Well, maybe Alyssa, but the rest? It's just a frenzy. We just want to go for picks.
Not just any picks too. If she can find something really up front, she could just pop into her overdrive.
Blinded.
But this is smart coming from WSF as well. They're starting to adapt to this, and this is what we were talking about, Tash. They know that X10 has love to push out together as a trio.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
I'm loving this change of pace coming in from WSF.
Here we go.
Usually they try to go fast, but this time B is where they want to go for. Take up space will be Dolph, really taking space. Not outside, but Muffin from the backside. Overdrive does find Noxie. So she does take some damage there. Has to move away! Dolph does find her in the end, but doesn't realize Polly's at the bottom side. But finally
Spike
does
down
get
mid.
dropped in the end.
One
Yuki,
enemy
the
remaining.
hit. Rosie gets one each. The Seekers come out.
Pull cat.
Just to find Baby TZ. Where are you? We don't want
Found
you
one.
to even
Plant
go
the
close or
spike.
bring that to the next round. Plant does come through. She does have the
10
tour de
seconds
force.
left.
Is she gonna get the
Spike
pick is the
planted.
question. She hurt them. They're playing in from ceiling. Does get flashed as well. Baby TZ, are you really gonna push out here? It's not a great situation. Look at how far away they're trying to wrap through.
Okay.
They'll fight from the other side. She's sticking it. Rosie, all you have to do is just jump peek. She didn't hear you. She does hear your footsteps. Does find
No
Rosie at
way.
the end.
I'm working.
It's already halfway. Has to find
Not like
them.
this.
Unfortunately, it whiffs.
Not
She
like
still
this.
gets it, baby TZ. What on earth?
A 1v2 clutch, and it brings X10S back into the lead. 3-2. They win that round. They got the economy for the next. And it all starts with Baby TZ and her sudden tour of the force. It's just,
Enemy remaining.
oh my goodness. WSF had everything right going for them. Rosie with her picks, the timing on the rotations, and even then, it's still not enough.
Clutch.
Here.
That's the
They were adapting. I loved seeing that from WSF, but in terms of firepower, X10S are clearly on top.
With the tour de force. What? You know how hard it is to clutch with a tour de force.
Right?
Clutch is what they
But
want.
she did it.
Look at that. Flash, they all got all the information they want. There was even a gravity well in there, but Dolph already on the site gets rid of the trademark before it actually survives. But look at that Yuki going forward, gets one for the hit, but Polly and Baby TZ. Polly good for two. Noxie does find Polly in the end, and this is good value. This is their eco round. And they want to do everything they can to make it not sustainable for them. Dolph already with the upgrade. She does have the knives, does get concussed. But then quickly move away. Flash comes. Noxie can she hit the head is the question, not quite. For now, Alyssa,
Spike.
and Muffin
Dolph.
gonna move forward. They only have one person to deal with. It's gonna be Muffin! It's gonna be getting that. What a nasty angle she's playing with.
Again, it's just X10S doing whatever they can to induce that sense of chaos. Pushing out a garage, controlling it that way. If you were in WSF shoes, you're not quite sure where they could be, and sometimes you're so focused on the firefight that's in front of you that you're not quite sure where some of these other players might have rotated to. And that's where Muffin finds that final kill, hiding in the perfect off angle. 4-2 now is the score, and this is WSF's last chance at keeping the economy on their side.
X10S.
Oh, Baby TZ operator.
Oh yeah, of course. She's insane with the operator. Nuki will be found, but Nuki does still get the kill in the end. Polly and Alyssa get one each. 2-for-1 situation. And they're loving it. I thought that they would have won that. That's through the flash too. Very unlucky, you have to say.
Oh my god. It's like you buy two, get one free. No wait. that's wrong. You buy two at the cost of one. Still good. Still value.
Buy 2, free 1. I like that. Actually, no. Buy 1, free 2. That would be the right one. Yeah. Got it the other way. Sorry, guys. Here in
Round's not
Malaysia and
over yet, though.
Singapore, We love getting that value. He's gonna put the Nebula there. It's gonna be
Asian
hard,
that
but
way.
look at the Rolling Thunder come through. Polly
nice.
is gonna be playing behind this area, and we know that area can be very lethal. But look at the crossfires coming through. Nox and Cupcake get one each. Alyssa does find Dolph in the end. Cupcake is so low, 25 HP is all she has to work with, and Alyssa's gonna push through. But the crossfire, she still gets it though. I am in shock because Alyssa should not have survived that.
There! Alyssa again! 4 kills this time, and she's 8 and 4 on top of the scoreboard once more. Different agent too, but she still just does it perfectly. No utility really needed, but it's the support that came in from Polly. She placed that star purposefully on the C site in case of any potential firefight coming through. And as soon as Noxie sent that Rolling Thunder in, it might have knocked her up, it might have pushed her off the site, and she might have lost her life, but that lingering Nebula just gave Alyssa enough of control over the site to come back in for those 2 huge kills. 5-2 now, and once more, X10S have all the momentum in the world. WSF forced their hand. This is the timeout that's being called again.
It looked good for them, if you think about it, but I was not expecting that insane flick, and I thought it was a crossfire. You are right. You did notice that Noxie got distracted from the other side. That was the reason why she was able to get that. It's a very bad situation for WSF. It's one of those situations where you just kind of question, we can do everything right, but X10, they're just so good at distracting, so good at just catching us off guard.
Oh my god. If you take a look at the mini-map as well, Tash, I mean, Muffin is thinking about it again, all the way down middle. They know that WSF doesn't have the guns. That's why they're going aggressive, starting the hunt.
It's a very different momentum or play style from Icebox. It's very aggressive, but
Oh my
Muffin
lord.
with the opening pick and Polly good for 2 Alyssa as well! They're just so happy to play up in grass. You can't outdo us.
I can't believe this. Rosie, what are you gonna do? Like, how do you find 5 of them?
That was gonna go.
Muffin, look at how many angles.
Tash, do you know the Muffin Man?
Muffin Man, you want me to do the voice?
I can do the voice. Alright. Can you do the voice?
What
I don't
Muffin
know.
Man? Which Muffin Man? I have so many voices, man.
I can't. Every single round, she's pushing somewhere, whether it's with the high gear or doing it slowly. She sneaks right up underneath your nose, and WSF just can't deal with it. No guns, and it's a 5-finger death punch from X10S to secure that round. This time around now, they got the guns again, but how do they create the space when you are faced with so much resistance?
Muffin is the master of taking up space, because once she does, the cavalry comes with her, and suddenly you have nowhere to go. I think this is the problem with WSF. They're just not quite able to take up that space, but look at this aggressive
There's
push
the
from
cavalry.
Alessa. But she does get flashed. They know she's there. Dolph doesn't find her in the end. Knocks against Muffin as well. The greatest punish gets flashed. Ginny survives with a life. B-Hop save her life. But now Flash comes through. But there is a kind of lifesaver. Maybe easy good for 1 with the op. But Polly does find Rosie in the end. Cupcake and Doxy does get 1. And finally, they clawed their way through. They found 1 point to their name.
What a good round! WSF! They just stood still, knowing that there was going to be a push coming at some point. They flashed out at the right spots. They caught Alyssa out. And just with that, they managed to push all the way in. No matter the circumstances, they were able to trade out those final frags. 6-3. And then X10S calls their own timeout as well. Again!
They have to.
A paradigm shift.
Because the momentum has stopped. What they're doing from before, those aggressions that they used to do, are now punished. So now they have to figure out another way. What we're doing is not working. What can we do to make them really, really, I don't know, catch them off guard?
It's, oh my goodness. I mean, both sides, honestly, they're in this tug of war right now. So much ebbing and flowing that WSF are trying to adapt to it, but X10S just continues to change their strategy again and again. Some rounds we see Muffin holding A short, trying to push up front. Some rounds she's pushing down the middle. So if you're WSF, you want to play it safe. You want to hold back and just try to fish out for that information, that juicy information.
Where's the Muffin Man coming from this time?
Oh boy. Get out of my swamp!
Nice attempt. I would have to say.
It's terrible.
But speaking of attempts, let's see if Baby TZ gets this one. You know that she is insane when it comes. I don't know if they spotted her out there. What the dog doing? They see her and she gets punished immediately. We know that WSF is great at punishing. Finally gets the flash out. Doesn't see anyone. Genie gets the fragment. They have to give the space. Have to respect that. Don't want to put in too much damage. Chip damage and Yuki and Dolph is there. Not quite enough to really scare them just yet. So for now, Dolph,
You
she
should
can go
run.
explosive if she wants, but look at that lockdown coming
interesting.
through. And this possibly is what they need.
It gives them the control and the space that they need. They can go in to get the spike planted right now. But of course, it comes down to the timing of the retake from X10S. All 4 players already in position for this, but they've been
Spike planted.
completely smoked off.
Retakes on A is incredibly difficult, and look at the crossfires coming through. They may have popped that a little bit too early as Dolph doesn't concuss here. Muffin goes forward, gets one. Polly gets one more. Nuki. Rosie good for 2. Polly from the top there. Raining pain. Rosie is online. Beautifully done. Love their post plant. And this is all they needed. They needed time to put down that post plant.
Put down the post plant. Put down that boot. Because you might try to push in, but as long as we have the positioning, as long as we have hell under our control, we will drag you down with us. And that is how WSF wins in this post-plant scenario. All the positions, all the pushes coming out of the A site, it's just not good enough. X10S, A site is that tough to retake. 6-4, and WSF are starting to claw their way back in. Oh, but Muffin again. Oh, I can't believe this. Is she really doing it? Tash, is she really doing it?
She has the overdrive. She can get away with it.
Oh
She
my
even
god.
But here we go. Here comes the overdrive. Where is she coming from?
I'm
Clear out that area. I'm really liking they're being careful with this. Immediately Seekers do come out, finds her though. She has to give up the space. She can't go too aggressive right now, but you see the positioning as they push through. Paranoia as well. I don't know if
she's
they
running out of charge.
Cupcake is there, but look at Cupcake's gonna be found out. Cupcake is there. One Cupcake for 2! Stop the overdrive. Polly does find 2 of her own. For now, the push is out. Baby TZ gets 1 more. It looked great for WSF, and suddenly they're a man down, or rather a lady down. Baby TZ only has 5 HP though. She moves forward. She taps 1 out. Immediately gonna buy some time with those nano swarms. Suddenly
Oh
they
my
have that
God.
Nebula. It's a one-way smoke. They can't
Polly?
see anything. Cupcake sprays 1
enemy remaining.
Zeros. He gets 1 as well.
Oh.
Gonna be Ginny. And right now, it's just gonna be Polly. She is so very low. She's sticking it. She's doing
Come
it.
on.
Eventually, she'll get found on the end.
The firing squad from WSF have arrived, and it's just a rain of bullets whizzing past all over your ear, your left ear, your right ear,
Your knees.
and suddenly you get backed in the head. You take a bullet to the knee, you become a guard, and this is just perfect. I mean, look at how fast they're playing now. They're comfortable with this, and it's so unfortunate for Muffin as well. Kick things into overdrive, push so far deep, tried to flank them. But it comes down to Cupcake just holding down C like nobody's business. And she peaked just as her overdrive ran out. So unfortunate.
Timing is everything. Just being patient. You're seeing that patience being rewarded over and over again by WSF. Regardless, Splash comes through. Baby TZ playing the aggressive angle, and she's still good for 1. We love this aggression coming in from Baby TZ. Muffin does get Dolph in return. Rolling Thunder comes through as well. Now let's find Muffin in the end. Pushes through, doesn't realize Alyssa was playing that nasty corner. Here's the Cupcake. Noxie as well. They're trying to get that space over at mid side. They can go for B, but it's really hard to really hold on to B for the post plant. Alyssa, she smells a Cupcake Coming in through B. Misses the knife as well. Cupcake, check your corners. It's very important. I don't know if she saw her. She doesn't! Alyssa was a little bit
Spike down
faster.
mid.
She was already crouched. Genie, we're waiting here.
Worthless.
Now she's good for one. Is she good for two? Is the question. Don't have easily bind, but there's no one there. And for now, it's gonna be Alyssa. We know that she's great with the sprays. 3K in a pocket. She's gonna be very happy with that.
Good attempt, but
Switching sides.
unfortunately towards the end of that, she was still completely surrounded. And this is just how X10S really plays this. Consistently pushing out from every single spot. Every single bit, and they just go behind enemy lines. If you were WSF, you send out your Rolling Thunder, you do whatever you can to push them back, but it's still not enough to hold your ground. They really needed to find those frags, but they couldn't quite do it. And with that, unfortunately, they only have 2 players left, and it's still it's overwhelming odds.
Speaking of overwhelming, the aggressive plays on defense is too overwhelming for WSF to handle. Yes, certain times they do get that value when they get those picks, but you see, even though X10S is playing aggressive, it changes every single round. You don't really know where exactly Muffin is going to be coming
Always
from.
different.
You don't realize that Baby TC is already pushing in from C. And it's very reminiscent to what you expect to see from a Fracture. If you know that they're going to hit one area, we try and pinch. That's the whole point of playing on Haven. And it feels like over and over again, WSF gets pinched. Yes, sometimes they figure it out, but the adaptability coming through from X10S is just something that's just really hard to deal with.
They keep changing things up. They keep shuffling those cards. You might want to try to find that one card, or just to wait long enough to try to figure out where they could be coming from, figure out what that magic trick is. But because they keep changing things up, you're always confused. And sometimes when you wait that long, XNS just comes in to suffocate you, especially like what we saw in that last round, pushing out from all 3 lanes. A, B, C, completely surrounded. That said, I want to say that WSF, they were able to turn things around for a little bit. 5-7 is pretty good
It's
for
pretty
the first
good.
half.
It really is, I have to say. But I think like what I was expecting was to see what happened from yesterday, where we saw, if say one area was being pushed out aggressively, we saw Mimi wall up, we saw Mimi throw out the slows, and immediately they run to the other site.
Mimi's not here.
Yeah, but Mimi isn't there. We saw the reaction come
Right.
through, but everyone was moving together to the other side. But this time, it felt like WSF really, really want to take these duels. They want to take these fights. And in a lot of situations, they can't win it just because of how aggressive. There's just this sheer firepower coming in from X10S. They can't win.
And it's so fast too. It really is just incredibly fast. You are unable to react, unable to fight back. Still, like I said, 5-7. Now they're on the defense. It's not that bad, but they really, really need to play something that's not quite default. If WSF goes back to a very standard style of gameplay, X10S are going to read them like a book. X10S are going to destroy them, unless X10S starts to overheat too. So that's the win condition for WSF right now, and that's what they're doing. Dolph pushing out.
We've seen Dolph get insane value playing as the duelist.
Okay.
No value from that dash though.
Ooh, fake dash.
You thought
No peeks.
that I will dash, but we will not be deterred.
Oh, look at X10S playing default too. They're so safe.
This is their playbook. They wrote the playbook on default plays.
Here.
They've heard it,
He's the only one here.
but one thing that's really hard about B, it's easy retake. But they managed to bait out one of those smokes, and I think that's good enough for them.
2 of those smokes, actually. Cupcake has none left. If X10S actually take Dolph down right now, they will have the A site. And that's why Dolph needs to play it safe. She backs off completely, calls for the rotations, and this is good.
This is very aggressive angle. The press comes through, but Baby TZ and Alyssa straight to the
30
face!
seconds in
Oh, I felt that in my bones. But for now, look at the crossfire coming through here. A retake is incredibly hard. It's one of the hardest we've ever seen. So many angles to clear. Using the turret as sort of like an entry. We do know that Muffin is in hell. It really goes down. We got Baby TZ with 3, Ginny for 1. Clean round for them. Only losing Muffin, but Muffin says it's okay. As a duelist, I'm supposed to lose my life for you guys.
That's the teamwork, and it really does make this dream.
I would
work.
take a bullet for you guys. Literally.
But it's also just how fast they were able to hit this site. They slammed it down. No breaks, just completely wrecked WSF's defenses. They tried to hold off a short, but unfortunately for them, I mean, Baby TZ plus a combination of the ghost that some of the other players had just completely took them apart. Here it is, the bonus buy for X10S. They've got the Spectres. They're going to make this work.
Dolph does have a Marshall. She wants to get those opening picks. She's still playing the same area.
Same playbook, though. Look at this from X10S. They're playing the same
Dolph!
position.
Oh, she's not pushing out. I was so scared for her. She gets spotted out immediately. That concuss is gonna come through. Dolph pushing out. Do you know there's someone waiting right beside you, Dolph? I'm praying for you. Praying for that Dolph senses to come through. Oh, she feels it. She knows it! Breaks it.
Okay. Baby TZ.
She didn't see anything. Baby TZ was like, don't fight me. She's safe. She's safe for now. She's safe for now. Look at the firing spot. The Polly is gonna get 1. That's the power of the Spectre. We love the Ran and Gan. But for now, Baby TZ is gonna peek out. Spots Dolph there. I don't know if Dolph made it out alive. Yes, they did. It's a game of tag over there on A side. But look at Noxie, not quite getting value. Muffin, Polly, 1 each right now. And Baby TZ say, yeah, I'm not chasing you. I'm gonna go help out my friend. But see that Muffin? Really reacting to that Nebula expiring. Quick reflexes.
Tash. The Ran and Gan. The spray and pray. It seizes the day and
you are the one who taught me those words, sir!
It's true. It is what it is. I mean, you called it perfectly, and that's what they did. Dolph, unfortunately, all the way on the other side of the map. Such a long rotation. They already know where she is. It's just that one shot that they're looking for. Going with her. Dash. Oh, like this. Oh. This is so annoying.
No!
Oh my God!
No!
She has no choice but to die to the spike. She has no choice but to die to the spike. If she wants to buy the next round,
she has to. She needs the 1900.
Oh my God. So dirty, so disgusting.
Baby, easy. I'm tweeting you after this.
Please do, Tash. They need more attention. Such a strong team, and they just perfectly read the situation perfectly. I mean, they know where these players from WSF are positioned. They know that, okay, this side is probably the safer one for us to hit. Let's just run it down.
I'm still very amused.
It's like, you give it a shirt, just a tip. All right, I'm hitting back.
That comment didn't
Keeping
make
you
it any better. This is their bonus.
Hearts destroyed.
Immediately gonna destroy the turret, but teammates are here to help out. But with all the manpower focused on Garage, leaves A completely bare. Look at the utils on B main. But look at that, Rosie.
Nice.
Immediately reacting to that. I'm really liking these bolt plays from Rosie. It makes her play really well, but Dolph, do they know that she's here? A bit too early, but it's okay! She still gets 1!
It's a good pickup, but then again, it's a Phantom donated to the lovely foundation that is X10S now. With that upgraded weapon, they are rotating back. Oh,
no, she
potential for the wall bank, but they're ignoring her. You know why? Because they actually have the C site.
Wow, imagine being ignored. Oh no, she's not ignored. They found her in the end. Really planted here by Muffin. Still a 3-on-3. Flash does come out. That Nebula will buy some time. Polly playing in the smokes. She wants to see them push through. Ooh, barely missing that paranoia. We do hear those footsteps right now. Polly can swing how she wants to. Does get flash. Pushes out. Runs straight into Nuki. Sorry to copy kick it right now. The firing guard is here. But let's get 1. Only easy work from Cupcake. All she had to do was move through. She barely missed that firewall as well. The fast lane.
That really made me nervous. If Cupcake, down at 20 HP, ate a single bullet from Muffin's Spectre, they would have lost the bonus round, and that could have been so dangerous for WSF. But thankfully, the bakery was open, and she landed that perfect headshot onto its Muffin. What is this? It's the duel of like cupcakes versus muffins, Tash.
I know you haven't had dinner. It's okay, I get it. But my question now was like, you know, putting yourself straight at the end of that fast lane. I mean, it's somewhere I would look. So honestly, I think what she was trying to peek through that. But the timing just wasn't there for her, I believe. Just caught her off guard.
Here's the thing, because they lost 4 players in that round, WSF has no choice but to go with slightly weaker weaponry. And this means that X10S, they could just hit them really hard, and that's what they're trying to do. Break some rotations over and go back to B site.
Never underestimate the power of the Ran again.
Ran again?
Yeah, if they can get those angles, a lot of damage, but Cupcake is good for 1 at least. I was so worried she wasn't gonna get it, but for now, look at that, the spray's coming from Yuki! He didn't know he was there! That's the power of the DPS! For now, Muffin, she wasn't gonna get that! Fortunately, she does. Let's get rid of those Seekers. Gives her some time. She does have Overdrive as well if she wants to go fast. But now he's not gonna beat that because she's gonna hit head! For now, Rosie will not be allowing her that fast. Because the dog will be able to get it. But Baby TZ, she has an op in hand. Changes out, she doesn't want to lose it. But this is a very dangerous game. She does get concussed.
30 seconds.
Running out of time here. She has no choice but to just plant it here. But how are you gonna plant? Aftershock has to give her that space before Noxie with a swing. That's a great use of util. You know she has to push either forward. So she was ready for that.
It's beautiful. I mean, util's one thing, flushes her out of position, or at least pushes her back. And also, the idea to jump on top of the box makes it that much tougher for Baby TC to actually get the conversion.
Look at that trade, though. You know
So
that
good.
someone was gonna be near that side. That is the power that I want to see from, you know, dual swings. But I never get that in my solo
And also
games.
the ran again from Nuki.
You want to
that too.
play? Let's
That
play.
too.
Blinded.
But for now, look who is in the eco, and it's gonna be X10S. 9-7 is honestly very great score for both teams. I think because of how big this map is, it gave WSF so much space to be creative with how they want to play, how they want to take up space. It's not as compact like in Icebox.
A little bit more freed up, a little bit more open. From 3 separate sites, and X10S are still working as a team to try to gain control over some of these spots. Muffin kicking things into overdrive, but she can't quite push in because of that nano swarm from Rosie. They're gonna have to commit to a site now.
They have to. 56 seconds left, and this is a very big map. It's gonna be through sewers. But Dolph is ready. She has a judge. Do you want to be
Muffin's gonna run
judge?
out of overdrive.
Oh, they changed their mind, I think.
Oh, she's gonna play it safe instead. She ran out of the overdrive already. That's a bit of a shame.
She popped it a little bit too early. Flash has come through. Counter flash as well. Gonna go fast though, but she is still waiting, pushing through his smoke. But there's the concuss as well. Dolph not in a great position. She does get 1 though. Still good enough for her. Lusa hits Dolph back in return. Taking back A is rough. You are gonna see that come through, but Rosie does go down. It's still there though, at least. But Baby TZ is just too good on the up. They win this. It's really hard to counter that, even with lockdown.
Quite the back and forth. WSF actually being able to gain some retakes. Coming back into this round, of course, though, I mean, X10S just switch up the pace. They rotate from C to A, and all of a sudden, WSF again not quite able to out-frag, out-duel the girls from
Even
X10S.
out-rotate, let's be real here. The only reason why that happened was because Dolph was only good for 1. They already got smoked out. And suddenly you have 3 other players just not able to get onto site.
Man. Oh my gosh, and now look at this. The round's barely started and they're already into
Oh my
C.
god, look how fast this is! Muffin and Baby TZ get 1 each! We love this kind of pacing coming in from X10. And because they're always changing up how fast they can go, WSF is just like, what are we supposed to do? Where are we supposed to stack? Where are we supposed to go?
When that happens, perhaps their only option is to really play off-site and just wait for retakes, but that's tough as well. Now, making use of whatever utility they have, they try to go in for it, but X10S are just holding these angles perfectly. Nuki, the only one left, trying going for a bit of a peek, but sustaining damage down to 50 HP. She runs away. They already know where she is. One shot takes the cake, but no! That was all she can get. Muffin closing things out. It's the cleanup crew, Tash.
Even though they had two bodies on C. Look at this pace. Runs out, slides, gets one. Immediately clears out backside here. Because Muffin is just so proactive and taking care of all the areas. Yuki did try. But yes, this rotation's coming through, and we're not seeing that teamwork, at least from WSF, because they're not able to. It's just way too fast.
My name is Muffin, and I am the fastest woman alive. And now she's going into A. Straight into the cubby and relay bolting just to hold off WSF.
And through here is Muffin. She fears no man. Only near. No! She probably should be, though. Goes down, but look at her teammates there. Get one each, but Cupcake get good for two.
Down A.
Equalized again, 2v2. Ginny? Change of mind, perhaps, as they run
Picked
away.
up the spike.
They have the spike, but
Here. Oh,
timing,
Rosie has to move.
Cupcake can't see anything. They hear all the footsteps. They hear all the footsteps they need. Teleport from Cupcake coming through. Where are you gonna go? She hears her. Oh, unfortunately, has to cancel. That does happen though. Rosie's the only one on site. Timing again, not there for WSF.
Yeah.
She does get suppressed as well.
They're going to lose a little bit of that initiative coming into this retake, and this allows for X10S to get into some sneaky positions. Utility not quite on the side of WSF as well. They've got a Shrouded Step, a Dark Cover, some health and guns, but they really need these duels. If they can take down Polly, that would be great.
Sprays are there. Not quite enough to take her down. Does eventually find her DN Rosie.
Oh, there it is.
She gets one from the side though. Is Ginny and Ginny.
Oh,
Good for three though. Looking strong for her. She knows she's a clutch master.
Match point.
Such a cerebral play. I mean, she went all the way to the back of C long thinking that, you know what, if they come down to it, I can just hold down this one alleyway. But no, instead she seizes the initiative to push up front just because they wouldn't expect her to be around the box. Gets the perfect wallbang for the first one and then the headshot on the next, knowing where they would be positioned perfectly. 12-7 now, Tash. This is match point for X10S again.
We want to see X10S be able to just close it down, but we want to see the initiative come through from WSF. You know, sometimes in these crucial high-pressure moments, we keep the dream alive. Fast lane comes through, immediately gonna clear out Link, and for now, immediately gets one. Noxie behind the box. Does she see her? Doesn't see it quite yet. People there has to respect that, but here comes Rolling Thunder as well, just to kind of buy some time.
Gotta go.
No follow-up though. Cupcake. She wants to catch him from this side. Polly is waiting. Not a good time to be an Astral Form. Never mind. She's back out. Does see one. Finds WTZ. Good for two. Cupcake always gets that value. Good for three. Can it be four is the question. Alyssa still very much there. Let's hear the tap there. Dolph.
Aw, at least they tried.
Finishes it off. High pressure cooker moments is what WSF really thrives in.
You turn up the heat, you turn up the pressure, and out comes a beautiful purple cupcake, and it's just such a poggers moment, I have to say. 12-7. They lost so many players early on, thanks to Muffin, thanks to Polly. But even despite such catastrophic circumstances, Cupcake just sneaks up in the best possible position. She saw her go into Astral Form. She knew Polly was in the corner. She saw Baby TZ peeking out, and that's when she gets the first two, and then turns back around just as they were distracted over onto A Link to find that third frag. Tash, this is great, but they need 4 more rounds to go into overtime. Can they do it?
You want to see that overtime to happen. But look how fast it's going. Fast lane plus the overdrive coming through immediately. It's gonna concuss the area by some time. And suddenly, all of Seaside is in their hands. Noxie, wanna try way in. Can't see anything. Gets spotted out by a Trailblazer. Alyssa is low. But it doesn't matter that she's playing these sneaky corners. Rosie, She wants to be
You are
sneaky.
divided.
She wants to be but look at that. You have the Mount
destroyed
Command
your
come through.
trail.
You also have the Cosmic Divide. They're just saving everything for this round. Look at Polly. Does go down eventually. Gets an upgrade from Rosie. We know Rosie
seconds.
can get those picks. But suppression is a little bit too much for her to deal with. 1 versus 2. What can
Ooh.
Rosie do?
Time.
There's 2 different angles they're watching, and suddenly
Oh.
it's 13 to 8.
Attackers win.
X10S. They seal this off very, very well, and it's a 2-0. X10S will be going off to the upper brackets, and unfortunately, our favorite WSF will have to go home.
It is that unfortunate, but history will repeat itself. X10S closed this out in fashion. Such a quick pace, completely different from what we saw in Icebox. And again, despite an almost comeback from WSF, they weren't quite able to continue on with that W streak.
I just want to say something.
Sorry, not true to their name. What?
I joked. They're not going home. They're going to lower brackets.
Oh yeah, they're going to lower brackets.
A little bit too excited there, but
They
they
have
do
a
still
chance.
have another chance. Honestly, given the fact that how they managed to just hold their ground against X10S just really makes me so excited for them. Because it's really hard to go against a team like X10 Sapphire. And even though it's a 2-0, I have to say that it was actually closer than I expected it to be.
I really love their potential to adapt. I mean, when they make those right calls, those right reads, they are able to win a few rounds. I would have loved it a lot more if they actually made it into double digits, but it is what it is, and X10S come out on top. And of course, you have to give credits and applause to the Muffin on Neon.
Muffin Girl.
I mean, look at this, Tash. Muffin Girl, yes, not Muffin Man.
On Neon, with 21 kills, I'm not surprised, and that's exactly why they chose Neon. Her potential to slide in with the fast lane and overdrive, just get all that space and those frags as well, just catching WSF off guard so many times. I love how they played aggressive on this map to the point that WSF sometimes feels a little bit pinched, but in a lot of situations, I gotta applaud it to WSF. They too can press down on the brakes and say, just wait for them to come to us, and severely punishing X10S for it. And every round feels very, very close, despite some rounds can be some flawless, at least for them. You really can see the potential coming in for WSF.
It's tough for WSF. I mean, they tried, but again, X10S, like you mentioned, they have so much versatility and so much potential just because every single one of those players have the ability to frag out. I mean, earlier on we saw Alyssa, this time we saw Muffin, and it's not just Muffin alone too. She's supported by so much of her teammates' utilities, whether it's the KO, whether it's Polly with her smokes. There is so much that comes into what allows for Muffin to find these moments. And of course, I mean, the clips say it all. A lot of these, Polly, Alyssa, Muffin, of course, at the end as well, they are able to frag out. Look at these micro flicks.
What I'm really liking is the fact that I feel like for this map in particular, so deja vu. Reminds me of what we saw from Paper Rex over in Stage 2, or even Masters. Just so aggressive, especially on Seaside, how they take it. It's very, very similar. And I want to just question, like, how many times did you watch them play Paper Rex play to learn how you do that? Yes, they were punished so many times, but it didn't deter them from changing their pace. We didn't see any dramatic changes in how they play as well. Every round is aggressive, but what was the difference between Paper X and them is that they're very flexible in how they approach the idea of aggressive. It's not necessarily the fastest that we've seen, not like Paper X, but I have to say, the speed is enough to really catch them off guard. And I have to say, so many teams need to really, really watch how X10 play in Heaven, because they are a team that you really don't want to meet on that map.
Yeah, but well, because this is the upper bracket, a lot of teams can be watching this, they can study this, and they could find some way to counter whatever it is that they're doing. Fast plays can only go so far though. They still have another round, I think, upper bracket final to go for, and that's what X10S has. That said, we're going to go into the lower bracket after this. ARF versus Big Scythe. New team versus ex-teammates.
Ouch.
Gonna be rough. gonna be interesting, gonna be spicy. So don't go away. We will be back after this break.